It is such a pleasure for me to be here tonight. And let me start by congratulating all 71 of the graduates, the largest class that we've ever had. We are just so proud of all of you. And while I haven't had the privilege of meeting all of you, I have actually gotten to know a few of you pretty well. And so I want to call out some of our graduates. I'll start with Ronell Price, whom I met, who did a wonderful internship at Bank of America. Ronell, congratulations. I also want to highlight Alicia Brown, who did a fabulous internship at eBay, a great company, and I know she's going far, that girl. Eddie, I think his name is harder. He's such a good guy. He's helping me from the floor. All right, Eddie. Eddie actually works in my company, Bank of the West, and I've had a chance to meet with him a number of times, and he's off to a very successful career and start, and he's staying with us at Bank of the West. So Eddie can... No! And finally, I'd also like to call out Angel Van Stark, who also had an internship at eBay, is an incredibly talented person and one of the most creative people that I've ever met. And I know, my friend, that I will see your name in print. So congratulations, Angel. We talk a lot about the support, all the people in this room and the people that you represent who have guided and shaped and molded and put up with during the bad behavior times, all of these people, right? But your support is so key to the success that they enjoy. And Angel's parents and his two brothers and his sister drove up from LA yesterday to surprise him, to be at the graduation, and are driving home tonight. And I just want to give a shout out to Angel's family. What an amazing story. Right there? Congratulations. Congratulations. So how did I get involved in Year Up? I moved to San Francisco from New York. You'll figure that out, a few more words with that accent. I grew up on Long Island, and I moved to San Francisco about 3.5 years ago. And there was a woman who lived in the apartment on my floor 2 doors down. And so I got to know her a little bit, and she started to tell me about Year Up. And her name is Sue Bellotti, and she is listed as one of the people that has supported this organization for a long time. So I heard a little bit about it when we'd go to church together or when we'd go out to dinner. But one night in February 2012, my phone rang, and Sue says, "Maura, you should come to the Year Up graduation." And I said, "And why should I come to the Year Up graduation?" And she says to me, "Well, Maura, Daniel Vasquez is giving the graduation speech, the one that Emmanuel just did so brilliantly." And I'm like, "And why should I come? Because Daniel Vasquez is giving the graduation speech." And she says, "Maura, he works in your company." I said, "Okay, my friend, I think I need to learn a little bit more about this program." So I came to the graduation, and I watched Daniel give a speech as eloquent as Emmanuel. And I learned about the program, and I saw all the companies that were sponsoring mentors, and I saw Jay and the team and the families and the support, and I thought to myself, wow, what an incredible, incredible organization. And I knew then that I wanted to be more involved with it. And so over the course of the last couple of years, I've been able to be more involved. At the end of the graduation, the formal part, I had a chance to talk to Daniel. And he had been working at my company for about 6 months, but all the way out in San Ramon, and I work here in San Francisco. And he told me how he was working the 4 a.m. to 12:30 shift. And I thought to myself, and you're still with my company? Oh my gosh. And he was doing that so that he could go to college in the afternoon. And so he was getting up at he was leaving the house at 3:20 every morning to get to the office, to make sure he was there to begin to answer calls at 4 a.m. in the morning. And so I really wanted to learn a little bit more. And I said to Daniel, "Would you like to come in and we can have coffee?" And so Daniel came in, and I have to admit, I'm blessed. My office is really close to here. It's on the 25th floor, which for San Francisco is very high. When I lived in New York, you couldn't see anything. But there's a view of the Golden Gate Bridge, and there's a view of the bay. And Daniel looked around, and Daniel said to me, Maura, I never thought I'd be in a president's office. And I said, Daniel, when I was your age, I never thought that I'd be a president. And there began a bond between Daniel and I and the other interns. And so I've been his mentor for the last couple of years. And he's recently been promoted. He's going to school at night. And I said, when I met him, I said this to Jay, I said, Daniel is the poster child of everything that you're trying to achieve. And you know what? I went back to Europe last week, and they're now marketing and branding their interns. And there's a picture of Daniel right in the hall for all the other interns to see, and a quote. And the quote, attributed his quote to Daniel, class number 6, a better future was always just a dream until the day I stepped through the doors of Year Up. And I thought, amen. Wow, that is pretty powerful. So Daniel did become the poster child, one of the many poster men and women, we really should say. But he is now one of the poster childs. And so the only reason that he's not here with us tonight is because he now works a different shift. He's now on the 9 to 5:30 shift, 9 a.m., but he starts school every night at 6:30. So, just a great success story and a role model for all of you. I thought what might be interesting would be to share some thoughts about ways to think about your graduation. This is an amazing, amazing day. You've come so far, you've worked so hard, you've had tremendous support from so many people, and many of you are already doing the things that I'm now going to share. But I think that they could be helpful as you begin this next step in your career and getting yourselves to really have a bright, bright future. So I'll share 8 little ideas that may resonate with some of you. If we think about marketing, and that's partly what I do, I worry about marketing and the brand and everything else. And in this room, the companies that you work for are some of the best brands, not only in San Francisco, not only in the United States, but in the world. And the roster of companies that you intern with is really, really impressive. So when we think about a company and we think about a brand, what does the company stand for? And how do we never violate that brand? And there's lots of examples of when companies have violated the brand promise. So my first word of advice to you is think about your brand. Think about how you conduct yourself, because we are all the stewards of our personal brand. How we dress, the color of our hair, and I don't mean gray or red, I mean pink or blue or green on a weekend. Maybe fun, but probably not how your company wants you to think about going to work. So think about how you conduct yourself, how you talk, how you dress, how you engage in the workplace, because I think that's one of the most important things about our personal brand. Take some risks. Early on in my career, I had always said I wanted to move to Europe. That was part of the reason that I joined Citigroup. But for a long period, they weren't moving anybody. And then one day the phone rang and they said, Maura, would you like to move to Belgium? And I thought, oh my gosh, be careful what you wish for. But I did. So I moved to Belgium all by myself. I didn't speak the language, and it was really hard. And there was this Saturday morning about 4 months in where I basically had a meltdown and thought, oh my gosh, I'm going to get fired. I'm going to be sent back to New York. I wonder if they're even going to move my furniture back or if I'm going to have to pay for that, because we didn't have contracts. But it was hard, but I got through it, and it made me stronger. And then it enabled me to go take the next step, which was to actually go run a country in Europe. So take risks in your career. Take chances in your career. Do more than you think you can. Ask for more, do more, give more, solve more, right? Always be looking. What else can you do? That all adds into your personal brand. Develop a great reputation. There are some people that do a great job for their boss, but they're not nice to their peers. They don't have a hand down to pull up. They're not taking on extra work or doing community work or anything above that. So when I look for people to promote and to give more responsibility, I not only care what their boss thinks of them, I care what their peers think of them and the people under them as well. So always think about how you're doing in the whole company, because you can please your boss, but be really, really bad to the people underneath you. And that's not a good way to develop a great reputation. Dream big. Think about taking a risk. What job do you want? Look at the people that are mentoring you. Look at the people that are sponsoring you. Think in your head, someday I want to be him. I want to be her. And someday actually say it out loud. Someday actually dare to say, I want to have that job. I know it's a way off, but I want to have that job. Because if you begin to say it out loud, you begin to believe it in here. And that can help you on your way. Give back early in your career. Don't say you're going to wait till you're a vice president or a president when you have enough money and stature. Give back early. And you know what? Most of you already are. And many of you have told me that the reason it's so important for you to be successful is because you want to help your parents, you want to help your brother, your sister, and you want to give back in the community. So most of you are already thinking that way. Don't ever forget to continually thank the people that brought you here. And I think Emmanuel did a great job of calling out his family and his friends and his partner and everybody else, right? Last Saturday night, I was in New York, and for some reason, my brothers and all the guys in the house turned on the NFL Hall of Fame induction. And Chris Carter, I don't know if any of you know him, but he was an NFL player, and he's giving his speech, and it was one of the most emotional speeches I've ever seen. You can see it on YouTube. But he spent more than half of his speech thanking every single person who helped him achieve everything that he had achieved in his life. So it's good to do it, and it's good to always remember that there are people who helped bring us here. And finally, have fun. We all work too hard not to enjoy what we do. So find the fun people at work. Don't take yourself too seriously. There will be times when everything doesn't go perfect, but have fun and enjoy what it is that you're doing, because life can be short and it's important that we're having fun along the way. So finally, my sincere congratulations. You have accomplished so very much. I wish you all the very best, and I look forward to hearing about your careers and your continued success in your new positions. Thank you, and God bless.